right, good afternoon. Jeff and Derek are glad that you guys could gather here today for the special occasion. Before we begin, I'd like to remind you all to turn off your cell phones, beepers, handheld gaming devices, iPads, laptops, watches, television sets, babies, cameras. If you could turn those all on silent mode, that would be great. And now let's please all stand for the procession.
He said turn off.
Auto park.
Brian, do you give this child to be married? If so, say I do.
I do.
Billy and Finn, do you give this child to be married? If so, say I do. Parents may now be seated. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to witness my debut as a wedding officiant. My name is Kedrick Jones. Welcome to my wedding. This is my first time, and I'm excited to be here because I have the feeling this is going to be excellent. Although this is my first time, I am hoping that this leads me to an exciting career as a wedding officiant. We've got a great show for you. We're going to have some readings by some pretty beautiful people. Beautiful readings by people, sorry. And if you stick around, we might even do a real life wedding. Are we still doing that? Okay. Okay, seriously. Beloved, we're gathered here today to celebrate and witness the union between Jeff and Derek. Now, I have known Jeff since I was 7, and I've only known Derek for about 7 days, or a few more than that, actually. In the last few days, I've gotten to know Derek a little better. We've been going through some counseling, and we've spent a lot of hours together now, and really like Jeff, really like Derek. And so while we were in counseling, I asked them both, why get married? What's the point? And here's what they said. This is really good. Write this down. Marriage is a commitment. It's the highest commitment. Two people saying, I want to be with you. I don't want to be with anybody else for the rest of my life. I just want to be with you. I want to share every day with you. I want to share my finances. I want to share everything. It's the deepest commitment two people can make, both legally and spiritually. And so now today we get to join in the celebration and the witnessing of this commitment. But before we begin, I'd like to have Emily Burns do a reading from Albert Einstein.
I know that.
Gravitation cannot be held responsible for things falling in love. How on earth can you explain in terms of chemistry and physics the important biological phenomenon is first love? Put your hand on a stove for a minute, it seems like an hour. Sit with that special girl for an hour, it seems like a minute. That's relative.
Beloved, you may sit if you want to sit. So I asked Jeff and Derek, what do you want me to speak about at your wedding? What theme do you want me to cover? And what they said was equality. Well, that's easy for me. I believe in equality, and I hope you guys do too. I believe that we are all created equal, that we are all all equal. And on what basis? Well, I believe in God, and I believe that God is the best philosophical explanation for why we are all created equal. So whatever God that you believe in, or whatever religious beliefs that you have, I believe that we are all equal and created equal in God's eyes. Now, some people seem pretty messed up. I'm not going to say that Jeff or Derek are pretty messed up if you think that's where I'm going, but
A little bit.
but some people seem pretty messed up. But I would say we were all created equal in God's eyes. So how can we all be equal when we have on one side like a Hitler and then on the other side like a Princess Diana? How can we all be equal in light of that? Or what about people who are strong versus those who are weak, or those who are smart and those who are dumb, or those who are good and those who are selfish, or those who are socially skilled, or those who are unsocially skilled? So we have all these things that we judge each other based off of. We tend to sometimes try to look down on others, or we look up to others based off of these silly things like race, gender, religion, sexual orientation, or even age. So why do we judge people based off of these things? I don't know. That's just what it means to be human. But I do know that we are all created equal, and we shouldn't be judging based off of these things. And all of this, I say, because marriage is about equality between two people. And sometimes it's hard to see the other as an equal, because sometimes people are pretty messed up. Sometimes it's hard to see someone, sometimes it's easy to see the other person as more selfish than us, or less educated, or less thoughtful, or less socially skilled. And so it's easy to see that person and think that they're less equal than us. But God says we are all created equal. And so we have a responsibility to learn how to treat others as equals. In a marriage, we need to treat each other as an equal. 200 years ago, we had black people in slavery. We thought they were dumb. They were animal savages, created subordinate to serve the white man. But now we have a black president and professionals in every field. It is possible to change your perspective of another person. Just like it's possible to change your perspective of your spouse when you see them as being less equal or lower than yourself. So the way that you see your spouse, the way you see your spouse is the way that you see your marriage. And we should see our marriage as a relationship of equality. Derek and Jeff have asked Winter Burns to do a reading by Paul of Tarsus from the book of Corinthians.
Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it is not rude, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrong, love does not delight in evil, it rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves, love never fails.
Thank you. I'm going to read a quote by John Maxwell, and it is one of my top 5 favorite quotes of all time. So I'm going to read it twice, just to make sure you get it. If you treat somebody as they deserve to be treated, they will become worse than they already are. If you treat someone as better than they deserve, they will not only prosper, they will excel past your wildest dreams. I'll read that again. And think about this in the realm of marriage. If you treat somebody as they deserve to be treated, they will become worse than they already are. If you treat someone as better than they deserve, they will not only prosper, but they will excel past your wildest dreams. If you talk to somebody like they're dumb, that will only lower their self-esteem and make them appear more dumb. If you treat someone like they are smarter than they probably actually are, then they will become brilliant. If you treat someone like they're selfish, they will begin to see themselves as having problems with selfishness and perhaps even increase, probably most likely will increase in their selfishness. But if you treat someone like they are the most giving person you've ever met, that will encourage them to be more giving. So, if you talk to your spouse, Jeff, if you talk to Derek and say, "Oh, you never take out the trash, you're so selfish," then what will probably happen with Derek? Derek will probably get angry, not want to take out the trash. But instead, if you said, "Derek, I love it when you take out the trash. It is one of the most giving things you ever do," what do you think will happen at that point? Again, I'll read the quote one more time. If you treat somebody as they deserve to be treated, they will become worse than they already are. If you treat someone as better than they deserve, they will not only prosper, they will excel past your wildest dreams. God created us to be equal, and we need to treat each other as equals. A marriage is based off a relationship of equality. And if you view your spouse as less than yourself, change your views. People have been united in marriage in all lands and in all cultures. And in marriages everywhere, two individuals leave their families that raised them to begin a new family. At this time, you're going to ask the parents of the wedding party to stand so that they can bless this marriage. You, Tim, Billy, Brian, who have lovingly raised and nurtured these two individuals, offer your blessing for their marriage, promising to support them, understand them, and encourage them in a solemn endeavor in the years ahead. If you agree, please say, "We do."
We do.
And beloved, the witnesses, honored guests here today, I ask the same question. Do you offer your blessing for their marriage, promising to support them, understand them, and encourage them in their solemn endeavor in the years ahead? If you agree, please say, "We do."
We do. Yeah, we do.
Now, Jeff and Derek have asked Gabriel Stevens, accompanied by Evan Phillips, to read The Little Yellow Leaf by Karen Berg.
The Little Yellow Leaf by Karen Berg. The story of a leaf who isn't ready to let go from the tree. And then, high up on an icy branch, a scarlet flag. One more leaf holding tight. "You here?" called the little yellow leaf. "I am," said the little scarlet leaf. "Like me?" said the little yellow leaf. She spoke. Finally, "Will you?" asked the little scarlet leaf. "I will," said the little yellow leaf. And 1, 2, 3, they let go and sold.
Now we will commemorate our marriage by lighting, their marriage, by lighting a unity candle. Light is the essence of our existence. Each one of us possesses an inner glow that represents our hopes, our dreams, and our aspirations in life. Derek and Jeff, the two distinct candle flames, represent your lives before this day, individual, unique, and special. Each of you have had your own individual hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Please take your candles, symbolizing your life for today, and together light the center candle, symbolize the union of your individual lives. As this new flame burns undivided, so shall your lives now be one. Your hopes, your dreams, and your aspirations will be united. From now on, your plans will be mutual. Your joys and sorrows both will be shared alike. Although you are now entering into a marriage, you do not, however, lose your personal identity. Rather, you will use your special individuality to create and strengthen the relationship of marriage. Therefore, all three candles remain glowing. The individual candles represent all that makes each of you the wonderful and unique people that you are. The unity candle in the center symbolizes the union of your lives, families, and friends, as well as the shining commitment of each other, and to a lasting and loving marriage. And now Derek and Jeff have asked Darren and Andrea to read Love by Roy Roth.
I love you, not only for what you are, but for what I am.
I love you not only for what you have made of yourself, but for what you are making of me.
I love you, it's part of me that you bring out. I love you for putting your hand into my deep dark heart and passing over all the foolish, weak things that you can't help feeling in me, and for drawing out into the light all the beautiful belongings that no one else can look quite far enough to find.
I love you because you are helping me to make of the lumber of my life not a cavern, but a temple. Out of the works of my everyday, not a reproach, but a song.
I love you because you have done more than any priest could have done to make me good, more than any fate to make me happy.
You have done it without a touch, without a word, without a sign. You have done it by being yourself.
And now, to you, Jeff Wayne Worley, take Derek Dante Burns to be your beloved spouse, knowing in your heart that you will be a faithful friend and a loving companion. On this special day, in the presence of family and friends, as witnesses, do you give your sacred vow that you will always be with Derek in your support, in times of sickness and in times of health, in times of joy and in times of sorrow? Do you promise to love completely, to console and comfort during times, to laugh together and to grieve together, to share together life's simplest but most enduring pleasures, to be truthful and honest, and to view Derek as your most valuable treasure for as long as you both shall live? You, Derek Dante Burns, take Jeff Wayne Worley to be your beloved spouse, knowing in your heart that you will be a faithful friend and a loving companion on this special day in the presence of family and friends as witnesses. Do you give your sacred vow that you will always be with Jeff in your support in times of sickness and in times of health, in times of joy and in times of sorrow? Do you promise to love completely, to console and comfort during times, to laugh together and to grieve together, to share together life's simplest but most enduring pleasures, to be truthful and honest, and to view Jeff as your most valuable treasure for as long as you both shall live? Jeff and Derek have chosen to write their own vows.
Jeff, I love you completely without hate. You become my best friend and my partner, and I promise to be the same to you. From this point forward and for the rest of our lives, I will treat your goals as if they were my own, and support you in everything you do. Your grief will be mine, and I will share with you my through our union, we will be able to accomplish more than ever could. I promise to never let you get hurt when I'm by your side. I promise to take care of you when you're ill, and above all, I promise to never overlook anything you do for me. I happily take you, Jeff, as my player number 2, as my couch buddy, as my sous chef, my sparring partner, and whatever else you need me to be for the rest of our lives. I promise to love you.
Derek, I love you unconditionally, and with every waking moment, I feel grow stronger. You've been my best friend through good times and bad. I want to be with you through that. Whatever troubles you go through, I will be there for you. When you are sick, I want to be your comfort. When you're troubled or upset, I will be your shoulder. When you cry, I will cry with you. When you stumble, I will help you back up. You are my angel. Every step I take, we'll take together. I'll be there for you as you need me to be. I happily take you as my wingman, my player too, and my fortress when I am weak. You are my triforce of courage, and I wouldn't like to spend my life with anyone but you. I promise to love you with all of my heart.
May I have the rings? Derek and Jeff's rings are external and visible signs of the internal commitment, spiritual bond that they're about to create. They are about to enter into that magical part of the ceremony that binds them in marriage. As they make the verbal commitments, that is the internal commitment, and as they put the rings on, that is the outward visible sign of that commitment. So, let's start with Derek. Derek, place that ring on Jeff's finger and repeat after me. I, Derek Dante Burns,
I, Derek Dante Burns,
take you, Jeffrey Wayne Worley,
take you, Jeffrey Wayne Worley,
to be my lawfully wedded spouse,
to be my lawfully wedded spouse,
to have and to hold from this day forward,
to have and to hold from this day forward,
for better or for worse,
for better or for worse,
for richer or poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to live, to love and to cherish
to love and to cherish
from this day forward
from this day forward
until death do us part.
until death do us part.
Jeff, it's your turn. Please place the ring on Derek's finger and repeat after me. I, Jeffrey Wayne Worley,
I, Jeffrey Wayne Worley,
take you, Derek Dante Burns,
take you, Derek Dante Burns,
to be my lawfully wedded spouse,
to be my lawfully wedded spouse,
to have and to hold from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better or for worse,
for better or for worse,
for rich or poor,
for rich or poor,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish
to love and to cherish
from this day forward
from this day forward
until death do us part,
until death do us part,
to infinity and beyond.
to infinity and beyond.
I'm just kidding. You guys are done.
I'm serious.
Derek and Jeff, in the presence of family and friends, you've declared your love, your commitment, and have formed a spiritual union based on equality, respect, and honor. By the power invested in me by the state, I now pronounce you married. You may now express your marriage with a kiss.
Get a room.
Before you run off, we would like to bless your wedding together. So please join me in prayer. Would you bow your head to pray with me, please? God, if you are real, if you care, and if you're listening, I pray that you give a special blessing to Jeff and Derek. Right now, right here, in the culmination of this very moment, bless them. Sanctify their journey down the road of life together. Teach them how to love, how to be loved, and give them a continual burning passion for each other, for their friends, for their family, even for those that they may never know on the other side of the world. May they make a difference in the lives of individuals. May they become overflowing rivers of happiness and thankfulness, even in rough times. And most of all, God, help them to keep the torch of love burning with the fire that they now share in their hearts. Amen. You would turn and face the beloved. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to present to you for the very first time, Jeff and Derek Worley.